Well, hey everybody, it's Saturday, and I figured I'd do an update. Actually started one yesterday, did a piece in the morning, and then got busy doing stuff and completely forgot to finish it, so gonna do another one today. Probably won't be too long. My biggest update, let's see, I went and got fluids yesterday. Nothing new or groundbreaking in that area. Don't think I'm really eating anything new. Still have trouble with real meats like a piece of steak or chicken or pork. Anything that's a meat that I've got to chew up, still problematic. But anything like hot dogs, ground hamburger that I cook seems to work pretty good. Liver mush. Anything that's kind of mushy that I can grind to a fine paste in my mouth seems to work good. And I would say my eating is getting a little quicker. I guess my biggest eating update from this week was I talked to my oncologist and my nutritionist. And after last Friday's long day where I ended up only using 2 cartons of formula and eating almost 2,000 calories, I finally convinced some people to say that I can eat a little more and pull back on the cartons I'm intaking, which means less time in the day, but it also means I can get more of my nutrition from eating, and I'm not doing both things, so I'm not gaining just a bunch of extra fat, which is kind of what I've been feeling like lately. I have gotten back up to basically 200 pounds, which is where I kind of want to be, although I still have lost a bunch of muscle. Just went on a walk today, so I am trying to exercise some to get some of that back, but not really in a place yet where I can do a lot of weights. With this stomach tube, feeding tube thing in, it likes to push itself out kind of on its own, and I'm paranoid about that because I don't want it to come out from my intestine and then I have to reinsert it or some craziness. So with it just liking to do that anyway, any kind of exertion like lifting weights and pushing seems to me like it's going to push it further, faster, so don't really want to do that. What else? Oh, I did ask people the other day for if they wanted to see any kind of videos, and I had one of my dearest, oldest friends that I have never seen since I met her make a little suggestion, so I probably won't, not that it's a boring story, it's just a kind of long story, but I won't, quote, bore you with all the details and the whole long story, but I'll give you a quick, because it is a really cool story, and it's really cool that we're still in touch, being that we only met one time in person. The story of when I met my friend Stef, who now lives in Australia, is married and has 3 kids, and is one of those people that came into my life. I feel like at a time when I needed that person, and it's one of those people that feels like was just meant to be in your life, that taught you some things, and that just, she will always be super important person in my life. So see if I can give a quick version. It was around 2001. I was doing APBA offshore boat racing. We had an event half completed and half canceled that was on Lake Erie. We had 12-foot waves in Lake Erie, which is something to see if you've never seen that. We had a boat jump higher than the helicopter that the guys were filming out of, jumping off a wave, and the waves, I'm pretty sure, were higher than the skids for the helicopter too. It was a crazy event. But we got rescheduled for Isla Mirada, Florida, which is much nicer than Lake Erie. during that event, let's see, after the first day, we went to a bar to eat and have some drinks, and I saw these 4 gorgeous girls who were just kind of hanging out by themselves and drinking and having a good time, it seemed like. And so I picked Stef. Noticed she had a giant engagement ring on her hand, but I saw nobody with these young ladies. So, of course, as I am prone to putting my giant foot into my giant mouth, walked straight up to her and said, "So I see you here in the Keys with your friends having fun, but you got a giant rock on your hand, so where's your man?" And her answer was, "He died a month ago. We're here to help me kind of get over that." Just from that part of the story, you should say, well, it's amazing she ever talked to you again, much less you still know her 20-something years later. But somehow I smoothed that over, or she was cool enough not to care, struck up a conversation, and we ended up hanging out with those ladies all that night. I mean, literally even went back to their place and drank wine with them, and I got Stef's entire story, which is crazy. It was a story that showed me that a movie kind of true love was possible, that I didn't really acknowledge ever before. The stuff you see in the movies, her basic, really quick version was she met this guy at a party. The whole see him across the room, everything fades away. I think it was 4 days later. Maybe it was 2 weeks later. Anyway, they bought a house together, ended up getting married. Less than a year after they were married, he was diagnosed with malignant melanoma skin cancer, and they gave him 14 days and he lasted 15 days. And in this night, I, as tough as it was, got to hear that whole story. Obviously, she was very fresh off of the whole experience, and it made a huge impact on me, not just the true love part, but the whole story part. Had one of the worst working days of my career the next day, after drinking all night and then having to go out on a boat in the blazing sun the next day. The boat racing, which I usually filmed from the shore, was a mile offshore, so I had to film from a boat and in the blazing Florida Isla Mirada sun. So that was not fun. But we caught back up with them that night, and I don't know, we just hung out as much as we could with them the rest of the trip, and Stef and I exchanged emails. I don't even remember how we got back in touch, because we didn't stay in touch from then. I don't know. I think it was, we may have emailed a couple times, but I think it was probably 10 years or more before we really got back in touch, which is amazing. Either one of us still had the other's email or phone, or I don't even remember how it went. But that's the basic story. She is still one of my dearest friends that I've only met one time, and so I don't know, one of those cool moments of your life that you wouldn't turn around and give back, and it's a great memory, and I feel lucky to still know her and feel super happy that she has got 3 incredible kids that she could be proud of, and has made a fantastic life for herself in Australia. I used to say I was going to go visit, but I don't know if I could handle that plane ride anymore. I would like to see her again one day. But that's my story, and that has made this video probably far too long. But there you go, Stef. There's your What did I leave out? Comment stuff that I forgot to put in there. It was a super cool moment of my life, and hopefully it wasn't boring for all of you to share. Tell me cool stories from your lives. Leave me a comment, ask me a question about that night, what I learned, whatever. And Stef, I expect a comment from you. I'm sure I'll get one. Anyway, hope everybody is having a great weekend. I feel like I have a lot of energy. I was thinking about cutting my grass today, as a lot of it needs recutting again. But it's also blazing hot after my walk and pretty humid, so I think I might wait till tomorrow or Monday when it's supposed to be a bit cooler to do that. It is also about noon, which since I can eat, I don't have to hook up my feeding tube right at noon anymore. Although if I hook it up at noon, I don't have to be on as long. But I usually like to try to figure out how much I've been able to eat in the morning, and I haven't done that yet today. So probably eat first, see how many calories I get. I'm usually basing on the number of cartons on how many calories I think I can eat in a day. And some days I only feed 2 cartons. Some days it's not 6 anymore. It is. I hope it will never be 6 again until my surgery, and I have to, although I don't think it'll even be 6 then. But we'll see. Anyway, ramble. I've done a lot. Hey guys, thanks for stopping. Subscribe, like, leave me comments, ask me questions. Enjoy your weekend. I love you all. Thanks for stopping by.